Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel Learn GSP with Mahesh. Today we'll see three bugs which I have seen in Google Cloud Platform's pricing calculator. For folks who don't know what is pricing calculator, so every cloud vendor provides a pricing calculator so that's easy for you to get an estimate what could be your monthly bill. So that is the thing, and this plays a major role when you are deciding when you want to move to cloud and you're not seeking any help and you want to do it by yourself and you are relying on this pricing calculator. This tool comes very handy. But what I have seen is I have seen three bugs when I worked intensively on this pricing calculator. So I thought of sharing it. Hope the concerned team will fix it soon. So the first bug which I have seen is with respect to virtual machine which is having a local SSD. So if you come to this URL cloud.google.com/products/pricing calculator, the first product which you see is your virtual machine. So what we'll do is we will enter the details here. So I want one instance and it can use any free operating system, and let me make the machine type as N1 standard, and I wanted it in Mumbai region. As usual, I usually do that, and I'll turn on one local SSD. I want one local SSD, and keep an eye on this number. It is going to run 24/7, and just add it to the estimate. Added, and since it's a virtual machine you should definitely have a local SSD, right? Sorry, a standard persistent disk for your boot disk. So since it's in Mumbai, let me just select Mumbai and standard provisioned this thing standard persistent disk. So let me just add it, and if you see, this is what it shows as an estimate. So far so good. We have not figured out the bug yet. I'm just setting up the context here. So the VM is going to run the entire month. It is N1 standard, and it is using local SSD, and you have a standard persistent disk which is for your boot disk. Now keep an eye on this number. Let's go to our virtual machine. Try to do the same thing. Mumbai, machine type is fixed, what we wanted, and if you see, the boot disk is by default 10 GB. So far that looks good. The only thing which we need to add is a SSD. So if you click here on disk, add new disk, and let's select local SSD, and we'll mention it as we want it as 1. Looks good. And before clicking on create, if you scroll up, you will see the details which matches to the full extent. I would say 0.02 is what is mismatching between your pricing calculator, which is 65.63 dollars, but in your actual console it shows as $65.61. It's okay is what I feel. So far so good. But for folks who are watching my YouTube channel for the past 1 year, they will quickly realize that if you have a local SSD, that virtual machine cannot be stopped, it can be only deleted. Let's try to see that in action as a repeat, and let's try to create it, and we'll see that this virtual machine cannot be deleted. Sorry, it cannot be stopped, but it can be only deleted. Alright, the virtual machine is created, and if you see, click on this and you go here, it will show you cannot stop this because it is having a local SSD and it can be only deleted. Now we have not come to the bug yet, so this is all to set the context. Now what you understand by doing this activity is if it's having a local SSD, you cannot stop it. Now go back to your pricing calculator and see this part. What it mentions, it is going to run for 24 hours a day or 30 days a month. But if I edit it and go back to the pricing calculator, you see this was supposed to be a read only field if it is having a local SSD. That should have been the design, but it allows me to change it. Now if I do something like this where I want a virtual machine with local SSD and I am going to run this every day but only for 8 hours, And if you do a estimate like this, it will give you something like the cost you are going to get is only $25. But in reality, you will be definitely charged for $65.61. So that's the first bug which I figured it out. Hope that is useful. Let's move to the next bug which I had seen. This one is again in virtual machine itself. So, but the context is virtual machine with GPUs again in Mumbai region. So let's make this one. So one virtual machine, I want to create it and I want to have an N1 standard, and let's make it as N1 standard 1, and let's try to add GPU, and let's try to add one GPU. And you see quickly, okay, it shows many things here because I have not selected the region. Let me just select the region, Mumbai. Okay, Mumbai, I have selected it. Okay, GPU is not available in this region. It shows it is to an extent smart. It says P4, T4 are available in Mumbai. That's what it indicates. Alright, let me go select P4. So it's one virtual machine and one standard P4 in Mumbai, and let me click on add to estimate. So when I add to estimate, it shows the same details, NVIDIA Tesla P4, and the cost comes to roughly around $391. To see whether this is totally correct or not, what we'll do is we'll go back to our virtual machine screen and try to create a virtual machine in Mumbai region and try to see whether P4 GPU is available or not. So same thing, I have given a name because I know this is a bug. So I have selected this, and let me scroll down. I need to have minimum N1 standard, otherwise you cannot have GPUs there. So let me enable this. Now add GPU. If I do add GPU, what it shows me is only NVIDIA Tesla T4, not P4. So you see that it's not there. Okay, let's assume if it's not in A zone, maybe it's in B zone or C zone. Let's try to switch it and see what it shows. It does not show there also. And if you select C, it will also send you a message saying that in Mumbai C zone, Tesla T4 is also not available. So what it indicates from the console is it is only T4 is available, not your P4. So if you do a pricing estimate like this and you send this code, this is going to be a wrong information because you cannot create a P4 NVIDIA Tesla P4 in Mumbai. So if it's T4, it's to an extent okay. It shows the cost is around $239. You can check that here. So the right approach is, so this is a bug which has to be fixed. P4 is not available, only T4 is available, and click on estimate. And since it's a virtual machine, you need to have the disk also. Let's add the disk, the boot disk, which will be again in Mumbai. This is also a minor bug which I feel like the moment you select a virtual machine in Mumbai, persistent disk drop down also, the location also should be fixed to uh, Mumbai. It's not there, so no worries. Okay, you see the cost comes to, if you have the uh, if you have a virtual machine with GPU, that too Tesla T4 in Mumbai, the cost is 239.14, and if you see here it is 239.112. So that is a slight change. I guess I am not sure what is that 0.02 dollars mismatch, but it is close. So the second bug which we figured it out is when you are provisioning GPUs, make sure it's always recommended you come to the console and check it out. Sometimes you may see some specific GPU dies are not available in the right thing. So maybe the pricing calculator needs to be updated. This is the bug number 2. Now moving on to the bug number 3, which I figured it out, is this is under Cloud Composer. Cloud Composer, for folks who are not aware, so it is nothing but your managed version of Apache Airflow. So let me just search for Composer and it will show me, and let me give the name as development. This is for a dev purpose. The number of workers I cannot have in less than 3. That's what it indicates. So but I'm going to show you in a upcoming video where you can create a cloud composer with minimum one worker node. Also how to do that, I'll share you that in the next video. But at least for the calculator to work, let's make it as 3, and the cloud and the remaining stuff should be optional field, but for the interest, let's put it as the network egress as 6.5, and as usual I always want it in Mumbai, and the standard machine type, all those things you can leave it. The bug which I have seen is this location or the data center. So if you select as Mumbai and try to add to the estimate, you should expect the pricing for Cloud Composer in Mumbai region, but it does not show like that. Let me just click on add. Now what it shows is US Central. It does not show you that. So what is the issue here? The pricing will be definitely different if it's in US Central or if it's in Mumbai, because there's a real estate cost, there is the different labor costs. So different countries have different costs, right? Taxation, all those things. So it may not be the right thing. So how do you fix this? At least you have a small fix here. So what you can do is you can edit this and make sure you change this virtual machine manually. You need to change this manually. It does not show that. So click on Mumbai, add to estimate. Now it shows the worker nodes as Mumbai. So that's one way, and make sure you do the same thing for your persistent disk. You see the price which was in 72 or something in, if it was in US Central, now the price in Mumbai has increased. So you'd have definitely given a wrong quote if you have tried to do this. So click on the persistent disk similarly and make sure it is Mumbai. So scroll down Mumbai, and if you are curious why it is 300, each worker node will take 100 GB. So 3 worker nodes, it will be making 300. So what else we have done? So we have done this to Mumbai. Persistent disk is also Mumbai, and this one does not show anything with respect to region. That's good. So the bug is make sure the region is updated properly or not. Otherwise, you will have a change in the cost. So if you put by default, it always shows for some reason US Central, it does not show that. So that is a bug. So the region is not showing properly for your Cloud Composer. So those are the 3 bugs which I had figured it out in pricing calculator. The first error was local SSD. It shows I can change the hours, which is not correct, because the local SSD, if a virtual machine is having local SSD, it cannot be stopped. If it cannot be stopped, meaning you cannot change the duration of how long it's going to run. It has to run for 24 hours. So you cannot change it. That is the first bug. The second bug was with respect to GPU, that too specifically in Mumbai, it is available only, the only GPU available, the GPU dies which is available is Tesla T4, T4, but in the pricing calculator it shows us T4 and P4 both are available, and the last one is in Cloud Composer where the region does not get updated. If the region does not get updated, your price will be slightly varying, so it would be a wrong impression which you may be sending when you share this code. So those are the 3 bugs which I figured it out. Hope the video is helpful. Thank you for watching.